Hi, welcome back to the Flipped Classroom Professional Development. Today, well, sorry about the shirt. It's probably not good video making to wear a loud shirt. You should try and keep it kind of plain. But today's the last day of school. This video is going to cover two new apps, or that we haven't talked about yet, Knowmia and Ask 3. And they're going to be an example of what Steve and I have called a level 3 flipped classroom video. In that it's not going to be someone else's video like we saw with the explanation of Explain Everything. It's not going to be like just a whiteboard with my voice like we saw with EduCreations. But this one you're going to have some visual contact with me. Research shows that students do better when the teacher is associated with the video and with the class, so that there is some connection between the material and the teacher, which is good news for all of us because we don't want to lose our place in the classroom with all this new technology. So we're going to get into Knowmia, how to use it. It is available for free, which is really attractive, obviously. But there is a $30 professional version. Now, $30 is a huge amount for an app, and there's really no need to buy it. It does offer two advantages. One, you can bring in the internet more easily into your videos, which I can see the benefit to maybe some teachers there, and it might be worth it. But it also lets you export directly to YouTube, which, frankly, depending on how often you make these videos, may not be something that the convenience is worth $30. But I'll leave it up to you. I think the free version will work for most anybody most of the time. All right, so let's get down to how to use the app, and I appreciate you watching. Okay, I wasn't getting as much resolution as I wanted by projecting onto the whiteboard in the classroom, so I'm using a software called Reflector, and that is something that allows you to AirPlay onto your computer. There are licenses available in the technology department, so you can talk to Jim Jakomick, but I went out and bought it on my own, not knowing that those licenses were available, and it was about $15. All right, to get Knowmia, you'll need to go to the App Store, and this is what the app looks like. It looks like a light bulb with a finger touching it. And when you open it, they have a terrific introductory lesson, which is about 33 slides, take about 20 minutes to get through. And if you're serious about flipping your class, this is definitely something that it would be a well-spent 20 minutes. But in the interest of time, because you really want to keep your videos to less than 10 minutes, all the research and certainly my experience this year showed me that I'm much more successful when the videos are under 10 minutes with the students. So we're not going to create a new lesson. We're going to go to one that I've already started to kind of show you some of the features of Knowmia. So when you get into a video, you'll see that there are several different tiles available on the left-hand side. These are just like slides in PowerPoint or in Keynote. And unlike Explain Everything, which has the zoom in, zoom out feature that allows you infinite space, or EduCreations scrolling, Knowmia's only real drawback is the fact that it doesn't provide infinite space. It just provides these slides. Now, if you want another slide, you just tap on another slide and it's available. But for each individual slide, you are confined to the space that you see. Okay, down at the bottom, where it says face recording, this is kind of a cool feature. By tapping it, you can project your image up in the corner. I think it's kind of looks like the Blair Witch Project a little bit. I really don't care for it. I don't really like the angle that it has of me looking at my nostrils. But if you like that, if you feel it helps you make a connection with the kids, then it may be something you want to use. Importing media is a really, really easy thing to do with Knowmia. So in the first slide, I imported a video here. And you can use that video, and it will be incorporated into your tutorial, and the kids can view the video. Bringing in a picture is as easy as going down to these buttons here at the bottom. So let's take a look down here and walk through with these. The first is a selection tool. So once you select that first tool on the left, you're able to move around. You can move objects around, you can delete them, edit them, etc. If I wanted to edit this picture, for instance, I can just erase part of it. I could take out this whole mountain over here, and it's like it was never there. Now what you'll see is that when we go back to the regular screen, it still just has disappeared. Um, and when you put in the background, because that's one of the things you can do, is you can select to have a number of backgrounds, and there are many. You can just crop out whatever part of the picture you want gone. Okay, the pencil tool is very similar to what we've seen in other apps. You can choose different colors, you can choose the eraser, different thicknesses. I really like the shape tool because in geometry we use a lot of, obviously, things like triangles. And so you'll want to be able to bring those into your video easily. Now, something I like about it is that if you select, you can move an object behind another object. Now the triangle's behind my picture, whereas now I can, I can move it back up to the front simply by tapping on it. Importing media, as we saw, you can use the camera and bring it in just like EduCreations, or you can bring in pictures off the internet from Dropbox and other cloud storage devices. The typing, the large capital T, is just typing as we've seen with EduCreations. The text palette is rather robust. I really like the laser pointer because if you're trying to point out something in a video, it really helps to direct the student's attention to particular places. And the last feature is the web recording, which is available in the $30 professional version of the app. I don't think I would use it in math as much as a teacher in social studies or language or English or science might want to access the internet more. This allows you to embed some internet browsing right into your tutorial. Okay, the last thing I'd like to point out is this area over here where it says Add Prop. If you use an image frequently, like a picture of the DNA molecule or a complicated diagram of a pyramid or a prism, you can just leave it there in the prop menu and drag it into your tutorials whenever you need them. Okay, with the free version, publishing is as easy as a push of a button at the top of the menu, and it goes directly to Knowmia.com in a similar way that EduCreation videos go to educreations.com, and then you can share them from there. For the $30 version, you can save directly to your camera roll or upload to YouTube. Okay, it's a pretty simple app to work with, but incredibly powerful and robust. I really hope you take the time to get to know this. And thanks for watching, and I hope this helps. Hi, this is the last video, and it's going to cover Ask 3, which is the fourth and final of the whiteboard apps we're going to talk about. This video is an example of what Steve and I have called a level 4 video. It's a video where there's some dialogue going on between teachers. The intent of this is that it gives you that connection that seeing your teacher helps with, while at the same time it slows down the presentation a bit so that it's more at the kind of pace a student would experience in the classroom. All right, so you can watch. I have Mallory Thielander with me off camera who will help with some of the questions. All right, so let's take a look at Ask 3. Now, Ask 3, you'll need to upload it, or download it rather, from the App Store. It looks like a 3 with a question mark on it. The idea being Ask 3, then me. It really does try to put some of the learning on the shoulders of the student. So once you open up the app, you can see that it's got a very different look than many of the whiteboard apps we've had, because frankly it is a different kind of whiteboard app.
How do you set up a class, or how do students start to use it?
Well, and that gets to very much to the core of why it's different. This isn't an app so much that the teacher makes the whiteboard presentations on. It's really for all your different classes. So if you want to get involved with Ask 3, you'll need to go to the Ask 3 website and set up a class. The app walks you through all of that. And as you can see, I have 3 classes set up. My geometry and calculus class from this year, but also the LA Summer PD, because there's going to be an assignment for you to do to help you interact with this app. So once you set up the class, you then will have all of your students can set up their own avatars, and you get the typical, the baby pictures. They'll upload pictures of someone else. They'll put in, crazy pictures of their friends. There's Jack Ruth as a baby. it's all very entertaining stuff and kind of fun for the class to to get to know each other. But once you have the class established, students can create their own videos. Now the creation is going to be very much like other things we've seen. You'll have a blank whiteboard. They can import images. They can they can just draw. They can use arrows. There is a shape maker if you're doing something for math or science, and of course there's the color palette, the ubiquitous color palette. But that's not really where the power of this app comes in, because frankly, it doesn't have much more than Educreations. What's really important is the bulletin board, because the bulletin board is where the students can make and post all of their questions and all of the explanations that they've uploaded.
How do students know which videos to watch from this list?
Well, I will assign homework, and students can post something. Here's a good one from Kelly McCurr. On May 19th, she had a question on number 18, page 322. So if we tap that, any student in the class can see Kelly's question. You can see that she imported an image of the question, and she posted her own attempt at the answer. It goes on for a bit. So you can see that she's setting up the diagrams. She's got her voice going in the background, but she doesn't really know how to do the problem. Now, if you look over here at the very end, there's a little, it's a little voice bubble like you'd get in a cartoon. That's because another student made a response to her question. And we'll see that when we open up and we just tap on that, Julianne made a response with her own video, and Julianne's video overlays the one that the first student, Kelly, had made, so that this response is a very dynamic and much more easily understood response to Kelly's initial question.
Do you have to, can students only respond through videos, or can they simply just ask another question or give an answer through a text?
Okay, over here you can see that there's two ways to respond. They can respond using a video, or they can respond the bottom one is to make a video, or they can respond just by inserting a text question, or just typing in the answer as easily as that. And that would appear much like this. It would just, instead of a video icon appearing here, it would just be a typed response.
Can students only respond to the videos at the end of the videos?
No, actually there's a timeline here, and so students can insert a question or a response or a comment at any point on the timeline. And often, you'll see 2 or 3 students responding to a single video. But this Ask 3 is really cut down the amount of time that I spend in class going over homework. That was something that I really felt I spent an inordinate amount of time doing. Lost a lot of students, lost their interest. But this has kind of created much more of a learning community. The students are taking much more accountability for their own learning, and I really think that it's the fact that they're engaging with the vocabulary, engaging with the concepts, and explaining it to someone else has really improved their facility with the material. So Ask 3 is a great addition to your class. I hope that you'll consider using it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm violating my little rule about not going over 10 minutes, but we're almost done here. I just wanted to show you a chart I put together, kind of laying out the different videos that we looked at and the pros and cons and what the capabilities of them are. Now you can go through this on your own. You can pause the video as I tell the kids and really study it on your own, but you'll see that Educreations and Ask 3 are much less robust than Knowmia and Explain Everything, just by the number of features that are offered. And that's fine. Ask 3 serves a very different purpose than any of the other 3. And Educreations, quite frankly, is very easy to use, simple to get something done. What I would really do if I were in your shoes was I would focus on learning Knowmia and Explain Everything well and choosing one or the other. Knowmia is a terrific app. As you can see, it offers a lot of different capabilities, probably more than Explain Everything, but I like Explain Everything's ability to use infinite space. I find I'm a little restricted on Knowmia, and exporting on Explain Everything at the moment is a lot easier for me than exporting on Knowmia. Nevertheless, Explain Everything does carry a $3 price tag with it that the free version of Knowmia doesn't. Either way, both are robust and great apps. So I hope you found these videos useful to you. There's a couple of assignments we're going to have for you on the Google site. So please finish those so you can get get your credit or your badge or whatever it is for taking this class. Okay, Steve Lau will have a third module for you on using iMovie. Thanks for participating in this, and I hope this helps.